thanks for staying with us through it all. But we are seated for our 𝗟𝗜𝗍𝗘. Today is Friday, and of course, is the International Women's Day. Today is 8th of March, and I've been joined by 2 or 3 beautiful women. One is an older person. The 2 are younger persons like myself. So happy International Women's Day to you all.
Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you. So, on my immediate left is the very Reverend Comfort Ruth 𝗟𝗍𝗘, who is a Director, Gender, Family and Social Protection, Social Intervention, for the Methodist Church Ghana, and Sinam Amuzu, who is a Youth and Gender Advocate, Hajaratu Ayuba, Gender and Mental Health Advocate, and Youth Community Scholar. She is on my far left. Today is International Women's Day. We are going to discuss the topic, assessing the state of the Ghanaian woman. So the then and then the now. What was happening during their time, what is happening in our time, and then we'll compare the two and then see where we can also fit in. But good morning, Ma, again.
Good morning,
Let's start with women empowerment. I mean, it's these days you see a lot of women venturing into male-dominated fields. What used to be the narrative then, and what inspired the change we are seeing today?
Thank you very much, Na, and good morning to all our cherished viewers. And I want to wish all women who are watching us this morning and those who are busy attending to their various endeavors a very, very, very happy International Women's Day. Yeah. Now to answer your question, what was then and what is now? Yeah, when you look back at the history of what we are celebrating today, you can start as far back as the 1900s. Women were going through a lot. I mean, even prior to the 1900s, and we learned that women were not being paid equally as the men. Women were facing all sorts of challenges when it comes to health issues, education, and even domestic issues. So in 1905, we learned that the first women's agitation for equal pay and equal recognition took place in the United States of America. And from then on, gradually, women have been recognized in one way or another. So we even learned that in 1911, officially, the first Women's Day was observed in places like Austria, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland. Wow. And then in 1975, the United Nations observed the first Women's Day, trying to recognize the achievements of women, the challenges of women, and to find ways and means by which women would be propelled, encouraged to stand on our feet and, also give of our best. And officially in 1977, 8th March was pronounced by the United Nations as the day to be observed globally as the International Women's Day. And since then, individuals, organizations, nations have been doing all they can to try and bring up. And so we can see, we have to be honest, we can see that comparatively or comparably, there has been an improvement in the state or the situation of women now.
Okay, thank you very much. But you would ask yourself why we have a Muslim in our midst. Yes, Christianity and Muslim are two of the most dominated religions in Ghana. And so we want to take the view of what the Muslim woman is also doing or has been through, and then what the Muslim woman is going through today. Hajara? Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah. Now, let's come to you. I mean, you realize that your religion, not to you know, say anything, but I mean your religion have had a lot of challenges when it comes to women inclusion. But 𝗟𝗏𝗡 is on the line with us. Good morning, 𝗟𝗏𝗡. We'll come to you shortly, and then you also give your submissions on today's International Women's Day. You are a youth activist, so we'll come to you shortly. Please stay. So Ajara, these days, I mean, then your parents, your grandparents had it very difficult. What changed? What kind of empowerment did you put into this for you to get here today?
All right. For me, first and foremost, thank you for having me here today, and happy International Women's Day to every woman around the world. For me, I grew up seeing my mom being in the kitchen every single time.
Okay.
I grew up seeing my grandmother being in the kitchen every single time. My aunties were always in the kitchen. You know, it is when you grow up, you'd have to learn a skill, learn how to sew or how to braid, get married, have kids, take care of the kids. You are the mother and nothing more. But growing up, it changed because I saw my parents invest in me. So that myself and my three sisters can have education. And this is something they didn't have. So from their point of view, they may have seen that, okay, this is the life I'm living right now. But then if I'm to invest in my kid, she could do better than I am doing currently. So I had the opportunity to go to school, to learn a lot of things. And through that, I realized that as a young woman coming from an underserved community, like a Muslim community or a Zongo community, there are a lot of challenges. How am I going to ensure that I can also play a part in empowering other girls from my community? Because it hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of stereotypes being a Muslim. I go to places, we work together some time ago. I go to places and I'm asked, 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗿𝗏, where are you coming from? Like, from a Zongo community, like, you're really from a Zongo community. And people really expect me to say that, okay, I'm from East Legon and I'm from all these fancy places. When I'm saying I'm from Zongo, they're like, are you really from a Zongo community? The way you speak and everything like that. So it hits me. Does that mean that if you're from the Zongo community, you really can't speak good English and you can't really do amazing things? You know, there's already been the stereotype about us. So for me, it's really been inspiring and encouraging for me to try and at least change the narrative for my people and also to empower other young people so that they can also grow up and be change agents and also change the narrative around their surroundings.
Interesting. Thank you very much. But 𝗟𝗏𝗡, are you still there? Hello, 𝗟𝗏𝗡.
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Okay. So can you unmute yourself so that we can hear you here?
Yes, I can hear you too.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello?
All right. Now, for you as a gender and then a youth advocate, what used to be the narrative then and currently what has changed? What has inspired us as young women, as older women, to be inclusive in whatever is happening in Ghana and then beyond?
Thank you very much, and thank you, 𝗟𝗏𝗡 and TV, for this opportunity, and happy International Women's Day to all of us. I think that a lot that we have seen changing has been around the whole shift of what really women can do over time. Okay. And so, like our mommy, Lady Reverend, rightly said, we saw a lot of transition where even at a point women were not celebrated. There was no meeting about women, and then we moved into the phase where a whole day was set aside to say that, look, let's talk about women and all of that. For us as young women today, I think that a lot has been on the side or on the success of our mothers or even people who have worked tirelessly. And I'm sure that is why maybe today it is easy to even see our own mommy, Lady Reverend, proudly wearing 𝗟𝗏𝗘 as a woman of God and being able to stand behind the pulpit to preach, because I'm sure if she wants to go even into time talking about religion and women being able to preach, prior in the 18th century and all of that, it was not easy to see that women were preachers or were working that. And so the change has also come in terms of in the face of societal change, and the fact that we have realized how important to include women and how important partners women are when we talk about the development of the entire society. And so transitioning from saying that the woman's place is in the kitchen to understanding that she can also be a CEO, she can also be a president. And what we see today is a reflection of collective efforts of people who have worked. And whilst we understand that, for me as an advocate or as an activist and a young woman in today's time, is only, I think it's only fair that I like my my other colleague or young woman rightly said, that having had education, having had all the opportunities that we have had to be empowered, it is only fair that we also speak up, because we know that in as much as we have achieved, there's still a lot. When we talk about parity, when we talk about inclusion, when we talk about equity and all of that, there's still a long way for us as women to go. But we do appreciate the progress we have made so far. And for some of us, it is only fair that we continue the work that is being done.
Esenam, thank you very much. But also, about biblical point of view, now, who is a woman?
Who is a woman? Oba anywana. Say if your Bible may say Genesis. If chapters 1 and 2, the creation narratives. What my yeta say there. Nyankopon bo oberima ozi form dete na ozi bo obenyin. Na obi no obo oba fi oyin fi. He took one of the ribs. Na ozi bo oba. Na oba na ehu de oba na benyin onya azokor nso wo wonu mu nanso azokra oje won nyinara mo waye korin de. They were both created in the image and likeness of God. Nti oba so ye obi a nyame abonusu enanesasodo. Now, the fact that God created woman from the man doesn't make her any less a human being from the man. After all, Bible may tell us the Nyankopon kade, I will create a helper suitable for the man. No yan de bia say meka no ho amaka cha mo de no che de meyi naran na wontu menye hwe nwara wontu na wanye bibiara ozimu wie peye ntine Yankopon ohwe zino say me my mistake.
A man cannot be whole without a woman.
No, we need to complement each other. We need to complement each other. Nti oba anyin no if your Bible man Yankopon oba so. Nti oba so oja Nyankopon enyim de ozimu no wie pe oba so ye nyimpa okita nyame no su na nesa so. Nti briefly mama kan nti se obenyin na oba oja nyame enyim, like Galatians chapter 3 verse 28 okan. There is neither Jew nor Greek, neither male nor female. Nye yinara ye yekor wo iraze enyim. Nti oba anyin oba so izimu oba so yobia. If your Bible man, we had women prophets, women judges, women who impacted the generations. And we can talk about Deborah, we can talk about Esther, Ruth, Miriam, na Mary. And anytime our brothers and sisters, the Catholics, were Mary, the Mother of God, I feel so proud. You know, Catholics, what kind? Maybe I can Methodist for other Protestants and Canada, but you know, Catholics always saying, "Sir, Mary, the Mother of God, or your ba and yankopon nam no do, or baby as." And I always say that God could have chosen to descend straight from heaven down, just like Jesus Christ. After the resurrection, ascension, of we call so in Chorba Shason, in Chobotum na we raise but one them, God chose the womb of a woman. And look at the courage Mary had. You can imagine, Bible doesn't record that, but you can imagine them, a Biaka Kraba Nazareth, and what might have happened to Mary. Bra unyin sana obiara inyim beina or inyin san in some ankrofo keka fa no ho na makaka won. It only took courage to be able to bear that. Inti oba or Bible moon, and there are several others, and these are the people Jesus worked with. You look at Luke chapter 8, verses 1 through 1 to 3. There were women like Mary, Magdalene, Joanna, and the rest are Jesus. Only one year, Jesus respected women, and you know, he biases and the stereotypes all, you know, the cultural, friend and Zama, no Bremazin. Jesus came to challenge them.
You indicated that Jesus respected women. Is it what we see today? I mean, then that was the narrative, but today, what do we see?
You mean what we see in the church or generally, so that I will know how to. What do we see in the church? Oh, I would say that women are respected in the church.
And outside church?
And outside church. But, you know, when we talk about women being respected now, it's not just a matter of actual bad, zizi or bad terminazin. Yes, maybe I will also say no. No, in the sense that, you know, women, the Indian Basan Yerkasa, member Bawa, Beni Yerkasa, Yena Yakade. In China, Zaman said them, but we've seen improvement, but there's still more to be done. In America, women are respected. Yes, say CRZ, what's some improvement now? I mean, the inclusion, as we now have in the UN theme for this year's IWD, also campaign theme here, inspire inclusion. Say CRZ, like my young lady said, I work with school nazi, but still there is more to be done. I mean, they be a say CRZ, may what the one was when I was it PPM on oil no car. Sometimes when it has to be, I mean, there is something to be done, a position to be filled. Now, Oyebeina, what's he? Oh, he is capable. He has the ability. Now, when it is a woman, you hear, oh, she has the potential.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's actually, before I come to you, let me go to S&M. S&M would leave us soon. S&M, do we see the same thing in today's world? Say, do we see the same respect given to women in the olden days to today's woman? Is the respect given to us? Do we feel the same way?
I bet to slightly differ with mommy. Maybe.
Okay.
It depends. Like she said, depending on the angle that you're looking at it from, or we can say to a large extent, yes, women are respected in today's world.
Okay.
But I say so because if women are respected, then ideally we shouldn't have any case of gender-based violence being reported, right?
Okay.
if women are reported, we should not still have young women who, for lack of a better word, we still have some men who would want to go to bed before giving a young girl a job opportunity, even when she has proven that she's highly qualified and all the other issues. So for me, respect then comes in different sectors and in different forms, depending on how you are respecting the woman. And so, yes, to a large extent, maybe today's woman is respected, yes, because also because for us, a lot of young women today who have been empowered, we demand it, right? So as an empowered woman, you will not stand to be disrespected in any circumstance, especially when you know that you rightly deserve that and when you know that opportunity is rightly yours. So then you demand your right, you demand your place. And so no one has that right to disrespect you. And so, yes, then I would, that, like I'm saying, we have a lot increasing cases of various forms of gender. And why would any man raise his hand on a woman? Today's world, because we are seeing it, because today's woman is empowered to report those cases. In the past, women were abused, but a lot of them, because they were not empowered, would not be able to report and say they were seeking justice and all of that. But today's woman is rightly empowered, she's reporting, and we are seeing it. So in as much as we see the respect, yes, women are demanding respect, but unfortunately for some women, they are still not rightly being respected as they should.
Now, what are some of the issues or issues women encounter in today's world that we can take a look at, and what should be the solution to them?
So I think I've mentioned one of the main challenges that women still face, which is still battling the issue of various forms of sexual and gender-based violence. And so once you are a woman, a lot of you are marginalized, a lot of opportunities maybe sidelined you because someone thinks that you are not capable. We still have a lot of our cultural practices which still infringes on the rights of women in society. And so women will not have this and women will not have that. Unfortunately, in terms of education, women still have issues. When it comes to leadership, we have still not been able to really push women forward in terms of or creating that enabling environment for women to be able to come up and take leadership positions. We have seen some being in there. And so these bottlenecks still exist in society. We have systems that still prevent women from being able to attain a lot of heights, even when, like I'm saying, even when they have shown that they have the potential, they have the abilities, they are qualified and all of that. So those challenges still persist. Moving just straightly to what can be done, we definitely have a lot to do. I think the advocacy has to continue. Now more than ever, we need to keep preaching and inspiring inclusion. And let me just chip in this, that in the talk about inspiring inclusion,
that's a theme for this year's celebration.
It will be a bitter pill to swallow for us, even as women, but we need to address these bottlenecks. There are two ideologies that I personally feel that sometimes we see in our society, and we need to address them as women. One, in terms of empowerment, sometimes we think that every woman wants to be empowered. No, it doesn't happen that way. We have women, like, you'll be surprised that there are women that you put everything available, but they think they're comfortable in whatever state they are. And we need to find those women and see how to really carry them along. Then there's also the mindset that once a person is a woman, she understands the concept of pushing the empowerment agenda or the inclusion agenda and all of that. Unfortunately, it also doesn't work that way. Not every woman, because she's a woman, understands or supports equality for whatever reason is known to them. So, and then in inspiring inclusion, we need a particular group, like I think Mami rightly said, men need women, right? And so we need to create that allyship amongst men. We need them he for she's, whether we like it or not. But let's be careful that in our quest for male engagement in pushing the women agenda. We don't, because we can have that agenda, but are we pushing it for the male to suit the male ego, or we are pushing it because we rightly want it?
Okay,
and so for me, those are key issues that we should address. But the advocacy should continue. Mentorship should be very, very intentional and deliberate, especially amongst mothers and women who have achieved a lot in our society.
Okay.
I have benefited a lot from mentorship, intergenerational dialogue, and yeah, we won't stop it until every woman is free. And
interesting.
So, yeah, maybe
thank you very much.
Words. I know a lot will come from the others in the studio.
Yes, thank you very much. So you heard from 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗏, who is a youth and gender activist or advocate. She has to go, but we'll continue our discussion in the studio. Anyway, let me come to you.
Yeah.
Do you relate, as an Islamic person, do you relate with any of the things that these two women have indicated?
Well, I do. I believe that the fact that you're a Muslim doesn't mean that...
Can you speak any of their local dialects? Okay.
Which one?
Which one can you speak?
Hausa.
Okay, so in between you can chip it.
In between.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
The fact that you're a Muslim woman doesn't mean that you're exempted.
Okay.
I feel like even if you're a Christian, you're a traditionalist, whoever you are, even if you don't really believe in God, so long as you're a woman, you're definitely going to face some sort of injustice. But I also agree with Mami that, oh yeah, women are respected. But when it comes to the underserved communities, which I'm very passionate about because I was born and raised in a marginalized community, the situation is a bit different. Like,
what is the situation there?
Islam says she begged to differ a bit with Mami. The thing is, of course, men are the head of the family. It's stated in the Quran, men are men, women are women. There is no way we are going to be equal. That's it. That is what the Bible says. That's what the Quran says. However, I believe that some men have actually taken advantage of that to disrespect women. Because I'm your husband, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Because you're my wife, if I say you're not going to continue your education or go out to advocate for the marginalized group, you're not going to do it because you'd have to respect me. And it's really interesting that there are also men in underserved Muslim communities that do not believe in this assertion. They are imams. They are other men who are also empowered enough to know that, okay, so if issues of these are really taken to elders, they are able to know that, okay, she's your wife, you're the husband. At the end of the day, you both have rights. She has the right to do what she has to do. And as a man, you have the right to support her. And it really happens that, you know, there's some men, I mean, there are bad nuts everywhere. It doesn't mean that because we're from the Zongo community, so there are bad men only in the Zongo communities. But I just feel like in some way, you know, because women in marginalized community really do not have the education, a lot of the education, you know, a lot of the resources, a lot of the mentorship for them to grow and thrive, it becomes difficult. You don't know what to do or how to do things. You're really not informed and you're not empowered to stand on by yourself and say, this is what I want to do and these are the steps. You don't know any of this, so how can you really be empowered? At the end of the day, a man will take control over your life. So it all boils down to where we find ourselves. I believe that the marginalized community really has a lot of things to do, a lot of empowerment, a lot of education to do to empower women. I feel one of the most marginalized groups are women, and when it comes to these communities, they are there. So of course there are respect. Of course men respect women, but in marginalized communities they're a bit different.
Interesting. Okay.
Something.
Okay.
I think I would want to add to what the two have said. Okay. Especially what 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗏 said concerning women who, no matter what you do for them and on their behalf, wouldn't want to be empowered. It's very true. But and even there are some women who wouldn't want to, you know, support a fellow woman. Yes. And there are some women who wouldn't want to. Maybe what was a one then one pede wobe for one do. That wa pede obina or someone. The maras no maybe or Besafobia one pede one yanku besia obezi one do. The emi me oba na me yanku ba oba oye bi am boss. One pede mas o pede da wa she me na ase. Onu you cannot tell why they want it this way.
Okay.
Now, multi-biaran, as we talk about women empowerment, on no here can say, they able born way to wage and whether through education, through giving them life skills and all that, so that also banner jananda being biara room to now on disrespecting. In any event, whilst we are talking about this equality and empowerment, and all that case so there, this whole thing is a journey.
Okay.
The yes, it be said what you used to be.
Yeah.
And what and sometimes we need to be honest. Baby. The only thing is that there is still more to be done. And when we talk about inspiring inclusion, there year share there and also wabejiatum and then equality on each other mambein wayen by all miss and my bottom ye and I'm by and some maybe one by and being one to me yet. Men can but
what are some of the things that we can do that they cannot do?
I love one particular advert which used to be on the telly. I think I've forgotten exactly what it was about, but here were a group of young men and young women. My friends and the baby are girls on Saibi. What do baby and where you wear shirts? No one could do. And then the girls were standing there.
They couldn't take up their tops.
They couldn't take up their tops, Mami Pema trying then young coupon born in such a way that maybe we were like main women are multitasked. When I was growing up, my mommy would do Sundays and she wakes up very early in the morning. Was a 20 if you are sorry about piano, yes, when you fufu. Nipa konara we twena beze sijadon. Ona akuya we kugwar. O said them no say no na orba hwe no. Mi che no why any tea pan no si ho. Nti okọ ya na orba duku. I mean, like,
okay. So she was doing about 5, 6, 7 things at the same time.
Yeah, more from an inti. Hey, kwakasha water. For now, could say recess, or if then so we are Jenny Bibi and Abachichu Bibi.
Okay.
Meaning to me, Adam. That is why we need to complement each other. And so, when we approach the whole thing, well, for me, we can't approach the whole thing. Yeah, that's a being. And I wouldn't want to talk about equality alone, but equity. Okay. Equity too. You can't talk about equality without equity. The main, but when we talk about equality, and I always say that God created women with power. To me, be a main one you be. Main need them to me be. Or pure one pure. That is what makes me a proud woman. Okay. I look forward to empowering other women. You see, Mami Pema trying there. It's not as though the respect is, respect in you are. Now we are being dishonest, except that there is more. Na many Hajaratu. Yeah, when you go to communities like she mentioned now, and you can't get everything, happening at the same time. That is why we need to do a lot more work in such vulnerable communities. That is why we need to do more work in such vulnerable communities. Now, baby, amba. You there, ye female, or here the young Casambano, ye Jahanando. And we should seek to be empowered. Now, in Yankasa, when we seek to be empowered, now you to me, and then two, we cannot do it alone. We need the men. Because earlier on, I said that sometimes the men would be elbowing us. When we have a lot more men appreciating the need for women to be empowered so that together we build families, together we build churches, together we build mosques, the Muslim communities, together we build a nation. Because for as long as I tell you, nothing will get done. Inti yankasa nkotin so because say America say adina today meyin na wo soro na mba no wase. Inti ye peda yen so ye baso na yen wan jina. That is where equity comes in. That or today idua friend that wall wo ho na a man and being ye peda ye share what is happening behind the wall at the other side. Now you give us maybe a stool or stools to stand on. Amen. Bibi de angel do. Na ye hu there. Emba ni ye etia. The men are taller. Into one wo je ho a wo hu wall na chiri na ye hu. And that is where equity comes in. Then you have to give the woman a taller stool to stand on so that so we are working together to achieve a better world for ourselves.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
But not in a combative way. I don't believe that we have to fight. No, because the more I are fighting, the more being so aggressive. And then we achieve nothing. But let's seek to empower ourselves. My mommy never went to school. But then so co school panche on a lawyer obey a day. So like my dear 𝗟𝗡𝗙 said, she also made sure her daughters were well educated. Now they because I saw any few they say a bank manager.
So if she had the opportunity to go to school, she'd have become one.
Maybe. But I never myself hear me become a bank manager.
So any of your siblings are managers?
No. The two girls were both teachers, and then I became a minister.
But she's so proud of you.
Oh yes, our mother. I mean, my member of secondary school. You see, that is empowerment. She never went to school. But she was so empowered because not on Adzika krasabi when you see brede, but autonazi. And so that is the empowerment, economic empowerment, literacy, and all those, so that the women will stand. We'll
come back to you on your journey to become a Reverend Minister, a male-dominated field. Did you at any point in your life feel marginalized? That you couldn't do it, or there was no money to push you, there was nobody to tell you, you could do it? Because knowing you and knowing what you, I always say, you were one of the people when I started journalism, I was always looking up to. Because when I hear you read news, oh God, and then I'm fascinated. You were able to do it. Did you in any way find yourself in a place where you decided not to do it, or people said you couldn't do it? And what empowered you to get here?
Of course, I had a lot of people tell me, you're from the Zongo community, you really can't do it. And one of the things that really made me stand out was my nose piercing. Okay. I'm a third-generation migrant in Ghana. My grandmother migrated from Niger.
So you are nowhere near coming from this country. You are not from the northern region.
I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay.
I was born. So you see, that's the thing.
Okay.
I'm a Ghanaian. I was born and raised in Ghana. My grandma migrated from Niger, came to Ghana, settled in Ghana, like way long during the Gold Coast era, with her husband. Then they started family.
Okay.
My mom and her siblings were all, like, they gave birth to them here in Ghana, and they all grew up here in Ghana.
Did they marry Ghanaian Muslims?
Yeah, I am a third-generation migrant because my mom, although she was born and raised in Ghana, my dad came from Niger, came to Ghana. You know the thing about moving to other countries to find greener pastures, and so my dad left Niger to come to Ghana, met my mom, married my mom. So but of course, there's a lot of stereotypes with being a Muslim in a corporate world. There's another stereotype of being a third-generation migrant living in Ghana.
Hijab?
Yes, one, because of my hijab. You know, but the moment people see me, where are you coming from, you know? And then I tell them they are part of my family that are from 𝗟𝗍𝗏. Yes, and they tell me, how is that possible? I know from the northern region. I'm like, no, but there's no way you'd have to come from 𝗟𝗍𝗏. There's no way you have to come from there. And then I have to start explaining to them the fact that, you know, I'm a third generation migrant. Okay, so you're not really a Ghanaian. You're not fully a Ghanaian. You know, that kind of thing. And you know, back in my so I have two countries. I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a Nigerian.
So do you go to Nigeria?
I've been there once. But of course, I'm looking to go there and do more of like advocacy and supporting other girls. From there, yeah, that's the future plan. So back at home, you know, my grandma grew up having, you know, a lot of accessories, nose ring one of them. So we don't point hands at people who have nose rings and whatever. It's part of fashion. You know, my grandma has a nose piercing. My mom did have, my auntie did have. So when I had mine, they weren't really surprised. But for me, I wanted to sort of be like a trademark. One, I'm a Zabarma, okay, I'm in Ghana, I am educated, I want to empower women, I am a career woman, I'm a wife. I want to do a lot of things. Married. Yeah, you didn't know.
I didn't know about that. You married a Ghanaian man?
Yes, but he also has his family migration from another country. Yes, yeah, but we all grew up, born and raised in Ghana.
So what do you do as an advocate?
So as an advocate, talking about where I come from and my nose ring, I wanted it to be a trademark for me, right? So that's how it started. And then people would tell me, you know, when I started journalism, I was told, you have a nose ring, you need to remove that nose ring, else you wouldn't go far. Before I started Amani FM, that was it. But I knew I had something in me. And then left Amani FM and did something else. But my journey with advocacy started basically seeing how women in my community thrive, seeing how my mom grew up, seeing how much she put in us, seeing how much other women did put in their kids, and seeing how much girls in this community suffer from abuse, from teenage pregnancies, from a lot of things because there's no education and empowerment. I just wanted to change. I've been there. I have faced a lot of these, and I've actually come out of it. Of course, there's a trauma attached to it, but I know that I can use my story to advocate for people. So that's how my journey started. And then I started working with a non-profit organization called Dan Grassroots, and they had a lot of kids, over 1,000 kids around Ghana, Jamestown, Agege, Nema, Tamale, and I was working as a communications person. You know, it's really hard for you to see a woman holding a digital camera, taking photos and doing things when there are a lot of events, and that's what I was doing.
Okay, Adzika, thank you, but we'll come back to you again. Yeah. Ma, so the Methodist Church Ghana, what are we doing to help solve the situation, especially when it comes to girls' empowerment?
Methodist Church Ghana and girls' empowerment. It's just the Afarley fitititi in the yesha you want here there, empower women. Not only girls, of course, girls and women, we go together. Adzika makade sa eba Methodist Afarley Ghana man. Methodist Girls Fellowship. Kuwa Afarley no ashada afema what's all such. Na ikuno was offer says bana one chepo ye MGF, Living Pure for Christ. Na my girls Usiensa Nijuma, Usienya Minasam, and all other in Zama, Obobuan, Emma, where Tumwaye empowered. And then we have Girls Brigade. No so for girls. Obwa, Emma, and also Girls Brigade, Usian Zama, for one Christian Abrabo home, Zama social. Educational, no, and BPRA, Obobuama, Oba, Wezi, so Girls Brigade. No, see a one. Now, all you want were there. Boys or no, Boys Brigade depend on my one. As a minister, they be a macade. Imagine entire year with Methodist Church Ghana or Sunday. Equal, so be a when you brigade woman, you are likely to find girls' fellowship. No, the girls have been provided for. Excuse me. But when the boys say, but in the year can buy something, they be a my main, and there's the honor band, Simon can buy and now, Methodist Church Ghana, I said, a Sunday school, children's ministry. No, you mark share child abuse, na safeguarding of children. Ni nara Methodist Church Ghana. Oye juma yerizi ama yana mofran ni nara. Mimi agenda juma na agenda also for me it's not only about women. Them mama can. Inti boys can, girls can, but in there oye mazin. Inti safeguarding no yerishwe ni nara nkanka girls na nzama girls ujuema oma what to sin. Methodist Church Ghana, through Girls Fellowship, through Girls Brigade, through Children's Ministry, and then as the girls grow, there were Methodist Youth Fellowship, and also in Benin, Namba, Youth, MYF, ni jumeza who ni narason, binum, to empower him, we pass through MYF, and Yasha Sifi Brigade, through MYF, through Women's Fellowship. Next, Eba, paying Fumusha Yawo, Anya Fucry Yawo, Susanna Wesley Mission Auxiliary, near Women's Fellowship, Ankasa So Ho, and then there were other organizations, Methodist Church Ghana, or Jumeza Hruwa Yezi, na to empower the women. Na, Nyamin Chazi, with this, my directorate as Gender, Family and Social Intervention Directorate. And you need so to create a conducive atmosphere and an environment. About Emma, Benin, and boys, not girls. We want them to boys, not girls, men, women, and children. Okay. When you are talking about gender issues, you don't lump the whole thing together. That's why we said men, women. We didn't say adults. We said men, women, boys, and girls. In Sinyani Juma Yezin, Yashade, boys have their peculiar needs. Girls have peculiar needs. Men, women, we all have peculiar needs. In the mid-directorate numun, baby, I focus work as gender-based violence.
Mami, that's it. My phone line is 0256253461. 0256253461. Mama, you better so better work as an so, but yeah, share Women's Work Sunday, no. Be important. You might be important. I'm be sad, no.
As Women's Work Sunday, yeah.
But first, no train near Women's Work Sunday. Okay. Oh
yeah, kwesi de bia Methodist Church Ghana ye trace ho afibiara or hen calendar do yes celebrate. It is normally celebrated on the second Sunday in March. It is very close to International Women's Day. It is meant to celebrate the achievement of women in the church. Mbabi wa so numa not only in their families, but wa so numu and some even internationally. In the Women's Work Sunday, first of all, no Methodist Church Ghana or you consider you to see what they by celebrate the achievement of women. And wasn't born a Juma Hruwa Yerizi. It be also so. Yes, the boy the challenges are Yeridium and Yeridium or Brabum. The stereotypes, the challenges, if you were room, challenges, even in the church, challenges, women, baby, no so share. There. If we are celebrating in Ba, no, they are about or you consider all the I saw in Naran. Yeah, be a society be na ye mbabi na ya abodo. You give them awards, you give them citations. See, all them are so young girls na azno wo hwa or motivate one or someone crying there. Oh, mbayi zi dem dwume wa abodo nti moso momba mozena minjina na me binti Women's Work Sunday no dem na ojina mana dem so na oyeye equal societies ni bi ma ono pon nya kwesida no nkoten na woye na kwesida no so bebi wo ho a ebokọ na woye food bazaar bia ma no wa address fe wazire she ma no nkran ema wetum na won so woye empowered na we hu dem meyare biara otum na obua to make our society as a church, now as a broader or a bit larger society, in a better place to live in. Into Women's Work Sunday, briefly, Juma, years in na sense or when
you mama, yeah, say now. And a question of the day, is the Ghanaian woman better off today than before? And say, yes, sir. Ubeti mi akache, those who are offering ya. Ubeti mi akache. Hello, good morning, fireman.
Morning, Adzika. Morning to my happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Ma, woman, my research can travel. So we are dear papa more for me, Yama, and my mental is at Apono, Echo in him. Now, they come away so at what to say. In my more, we are seeing them. First, below your mamba, the bread. Yama, Ima, and Quarcoo, Yama, a young qua, but thanks be to God. In the Yami, Annam Yama is so. I'm under the national according in the family society now. You were a bar or yes, steward. Over second anymore, you were bar or yes, steward. At the same time, fantastic NDC, the opposition party, or what the fantastic Professor Nana Opopuje. So, Mayor Murani me. When in a man, in Manu Edge. It makes a swimming so of Nana. You see, Oba, some more about the bra, I must show a bomb, so maybe that's a Tana. Hello.
Hi, fireman. Fireman, a hodie. So, I'm going to be a moderator and to me, Yano. Yes, Ma, would you like to give an answer to this? They say, Ma, if you give women a place to sit, that is where they show you their true colors. How true is that?
I don't believe.
Okay, before you answer that, Rita, Rita, hello, good morning, Rita.
Oh, Christ our first. Program. I'm amazing. Hello to my mommy. Mama Comfort, your personal secretary, Wilson.
Oh,
Amen. Happy Women's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know you about to say something.
I don't actually believe. I mean, that's why I said that about not everywhere. Maybe someone would do that, but I don't believe when you give women the opportunity, they will show you their true colors. Majority of them wouldn't do that.
Okay. You also believe in the same thing.
In fact, I'm the same. So I may be working the me there. And my young crophobia, the most here they are women, you know. They are our sons. Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning.
I don't mean to say.
Your comment now, but some them are men. The money here to be a citizen of it. Or battling in the war, you will be able to come a man in Pala, who will be able to say, aha, or baby, anyhow. That's it, see my bazaar. Now, I said, your kind, we don't have to yet. Compare and contrast the women of just years. Any memory.
Okay.
Adzika, maybe Adzika, maybe Adiye, and Adzika.
Okay.
Many Africa, but the basically 7 years.
Wow.
The penny farm, the true woman. Osha be a pa Canenu Mucha, and then remove. Emma Yaba. Because me say ana mechini kakra so seze kura wokọ mfantima mu a ya mansa dokno empanyimfo dia na omoye no ene miremu e different so ba santima mu a fufu ya na tete wono ye wo no e posi ene e different wo hwa ade ye paa dia de kese kane no etwa ene miremu ma no magye dia ne nko ana ye nanso so wo hwe ahofedi a ene miremu ma nso mo aye fe paa che tete ho no ana se kane no nya tete ho no kane na ye ma me tuefo fe mu ntombu ase na ma akora ye ba no afi na ahofefo ye wu itime eyi a itime se ene miremu de akora oba wo ho kura no a kese wo hwe kane no a de kese ene eye paa na ni mu die ne wo hwe ni mu die na myadom emako meni pa yen kan bibiri obi so bebe binti nimde emako eni chen kane no kane wo de to ho a eti comparative we are no meye eti man nemre ma
Adam yedase pa has the advancements of the world altered women in any way? Mama, has it altered our stance? Has it altered anything about us?
Yes. Okay.
Is it good or bad?
Good and bad.
Okay.
Good and bad.
Which one is the good one? Which one is the bad one?
The good one is that also an advancement is my on my any opportunity technology na ze wa bebe on my Yerusian zemepi sabe enti baby I wanna nkote na Yerusian na emu hu zemebi na wo baby na wo so esua obo wo ma ekoso ibi na ya sha as na America there International Women's Day o sha se fi baby onya Ghana ha na nso nyame na adom we be pay ha manye na nti advancement nti bebre wo azusuam azi ye wa bo hen ma bebre Ghana ha ye wo women navigators wa ha here na ma okaka ho na no women professors need advancement na why na
that's it. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay.
Advancement to create so we be na yen neba oh ya na ya ka sam na inde sisu ya so na ya ka sam inde sabi advancement to create nti ya mo from me woko school a wo fi school be ya homework na ze na nti na numu azusua na numu TV na mo kaka wonti na wenya kwanompo na sabi ezibane ya na fiaze doesn't define a woman. No. But
okay. Thank you very much. Kezzy, good morning.
Good morning. So for me, I think that a lot of things have changed.
Okay.
Women are more empowered compared to then. Women are more respected. I remember growing up, there was this advert, and I'm saying, no banu or so banning komukase. Na minim some advert na. It was more on GTV.
Okay.
No so banning komukase no hona like where she's supposed to be. It was about child education.
Okay.
I think that we've trained a lot of girls, and then these girls have now been or translated into powerful women, and a lot of things have changed. My question for Hajara.
Okay.
Yes. Hajara, please, I listen. I have a question for you.
I'm listening.
Okay. So my question is, on the issue of advocacy.
Yeah.
Will you advocate for men who have transgended as women, or who have transgendered into females as part of women who are marginalized?
Okay, this is a really tricky one.
Yeah.
I'd say first and foremost that I believe that everybody has a right to live as a human being. Secondly, I'm a Muslim. I go with whatever the Quran tells me. I'm a believer of God and I'm a believer of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I go with whatever he says. So in this case, I wouldn't really give a complete answer to you. Thanks for your question. However, I just say people do have the right to live, and whatever deemed fit to you, you can do what you have to do. But my advocacy goes in accordance with the Holy Quran, goes in accordance with what God wants, goes in accordance to what our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did during his era and what we have to learn from him as Muslims. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But has advancement changed us? Quickly.
It has. I think one of the biggest advancements is technology, and I see that due to technology, there is the participation of women and girls in the digital world. However, people have used that to exploit girls and women, cyberbullying, prostitution, pornography. You know, it has, but there is more now. It's like there's more work to be done to support or to safeguard girls on the digital era or on the digital world.
Thank you very much. Mami, before we go, your final words.
Yeah, the razasi. The honor namna domodo. Wama mba so. Ye tumpon wa brabom. Ebodum pempendi. Yes, there is more to be done. Mayebodu yenwie. Ye bokodara na ya per akwakan o sande yenyim da se mba dum pempendu bia yemu bebre nara ya ye empowered yemu bebre nara ye gine ye ya yeni wiazi obasesa kras na masesiara yewu. So we want to encourage women mba inara mama want one year inspire inclusion. You know, one kasasa ye oba no nze mebi owa sorry jan wonando me onyenze ye mama yenze ye mama na etewo so na jan wonando na yenhwe da fidence say ayerzi International Women's Day bioni na Ghana ma ye twa na mo nan kankampo ye besre de affirmative action bill no ye besre de nti fidence say nente wa baye law amahen ma wa da nzama bebrenyua wo mani mu amahen ma so yezi ma mani na so ye tumpo na akokan.
Okay. Mami yedase enti earlier no na esinam amuzu ekaye ho oye youth and gender advocate and aya wo studio so the very Reverend Comfort Ruth 𝗟𝗚𝗙𝗘 oye director edema gender family and social intervention edema the Methodist Church Ghana and afin so Hajaratu Ayuba oye gender and mental health advocate and a youth community scholar yedase se obekan ho afin so kai say program we ebesa ba ofidie no so biom yebebo repeat amount now so ntimi etie inkomode na e course so EFA International Women's Day a topic assessing the state of the Ghanaian woman e bisa asem so mu yia no fefefe yeda se ye twa yen ho abasisia. Sorry, not sure.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Get ready for a transformational morning experience.
Serena Shrine is here to build our spirituality, mental and physical well-being.
Through positive, inspiring actions and stories.
We bring you exciting activities and conversations that develop us as a people and as a nation.
We take a look at the trending issues in Ghana and the rest of the world.
And we also review the impacting stories from our local newspapers.
Every morning, we bring you stories of hope, change, and renewal.
We empower you through the Word of God and provoke you to live the purposeful life destined for you.
Join us Anita Quarcoo.
And the Reverend Adzika Vincent Agbamanya. Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we take you on an inspiring journey, live and exclusively on WTV.
You may also join us on Facebook at WTV Ghana and on YouTube at 𝗦cije Ghana.
Sorry, not shrink.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Sorry Not Shrink is brought to you by
Danwell Insurance, Multi-Credit Savings and Loan,
and the Methodist University Ghana.
Yen in church, Jumedia Sronqua, Methodist Yasha at the Airbreb, church, so you best suya at dear Afa, the Nim Efanyang Copon, yes, to Christo Hong Kong, and a sunny to your Gidiamo Anamo. A bepens and pens, a Gidiano Fappem. Yen church, you be pisa, you best suya, na you be home. Kayawe, na yen suya the hour yen church, so yen church, yama Gidiano at the hope pepe.
Yema ashafo nyina akwa bebium. Ege Wesleyan Television hano say we are celebrating the month of the motherland. Na ye to ashafo nyina for say yendi Ghana inuane this month of March no. Yensa aka made in Ghana food bako ewo studio ha. Bosheba yema akwa ba. Na o se den na ekoso.
Biaboko body at the room, and encoda sotiase.
Yedinyamiase. Na ene COVID tiger nut powder, a day now more my
and then the old BB and say, you will be a fish up. It will be a happy birthday. Sans a day a Ghana, a umpo, a mine, and then I have to do some purpose. Many say. Yakasa Ghana mountain who be here said Ubibia Yanji ye biblimun woman and tomb. Esanse eno enema ye biblifono ye da enso. Eno ntino se wuti se ye ka COVID tiger nut powder. E ataju aduane. E ataju ye wie. Ena papa Kofi Vignon. Oye kofare by Kofi Vignon Company Limited. Ono na kofare by this company be boss wa Ghana 2014. And I share company no ase. Na oye hwehwemu hu se atadwe so emfaso de bibiri aside ye normal perception e was nya ka atadwe ye se mema ni sadie no na se you feel obonika say we are wiping that perception off na engofo mu se atadwe so emfaso de bibiri obi ofie oni nkura sa atadwe boye ni essence atadwe containing omega 3 obi nim sa atadwe containing calcium e bo ma wonom pemu ayedene obi nim enti senka wo na oba ne nompemu yemra ana wo pese wo a wakoda ne nompemu ye de notumi gina si ya senka wo nyim ne mu no in your pregnancy you should be taking tiger na senka wo di atadwe but then gofo ni nwo nyina obi nim sa atadwe contain vitamin C for your immune system enu die hunu se emfaso de bebre wa atadwe so nanso ye wi a the fiber content na ye ne hono no ya na minu ya poagu wo na ye se hanum nyina be yo ya ododom be yo ya ena papa Kofi nya atena se hu se e ba na se be hadwene emfaso de wo so bebre be boni padua no wasanso atena se hu se oba Ghana ha 80% of enyare wo bebre ni ye DC ni nyina free virus enye bacteria e ye nwena ye die enu ntie de ye be se ye catch obi ase se watch ebo nsa Emma watch ne mo nsa se o de hweta ma be fa duru ne ma watch ne mo nsa se o de hweta ma be nya eduane papa adi no bo ho ban afi enyare wa ho se o da se ni bia metumi no da se ni bia tonchia se afi we ye simi se o he we didie yi a from January to December o be yare a na bia okosra obi o hospital Unze ye mbe ukọ naturopathy any homeopathy hospital na ye di nnuane no na sayade.
Okay.
Obi wo yare bi ha no enye aduro na wohia vitamin K wo nipadua ni. Enti wonya aduane bi vitamin K wo mu ahobeto. Ye de ye say nnuane no wudu bebre e wo COVID tiger nut powder mu. So be a painful na wo tie mi a na wo fa fru o ma koda nufo a aduane asese wudi e COVID tiger nut powder.
Okay. Enu nti no bosheba se ye pebi ato a ehifa sana ye benye bi ato.
O peduane we bi ato. Se o pebi ama me penny say e bo mo pa regulate your blood and sugar level. E bo ankoda o no pay o immune system e bo yen e memma bo ama e bo bi a hwe aduane a obedi ni yi. Ope bi ato Ghana ha bebi bia obi abenye bi ato.
Okay.
Enkran kuma se sunyane hwanwan oti damba bebi bia obi a.
Na se obi so amanone na se o pebi.
Oh, sani pa no kwa oni problem.
Okay.
French dey because say nepa problem. Only problem.
Okay.
Country bia wo so bia. Numbers na dey to the friend number no. O se me Australia obenye bi, o se me Canada obenye bi, o se me United States obenye bi. Enkran ha wo bia odu radio gold a obenye bi o wato.
Radio gold ya.
Radio gold ya odu obenye bi no wato. Nana boache heba e wotema.
Okay.
Little George enso e wotema. Ekus pharmacy e wa Shama. Obenye bi wo also organic e wa Madina. OP pharmacy e wa La Paz.
Okay.
And also obenye bi e wa enkran. DF Nutrition, Mama Lane Supermarket, any Akoma FM.
Okay.
And also e wa Sante e Mantem. Total Filling Station and so e wa Mabudu on mabenye bi na wato. Mom Western North, mo be Apia Enterprise. Mo benye bi na mato. Okomia mi kum Cape Coast. Udu Cape Coast, Abra Hatchland City, Benya Honum Benye Binato Nezi. Abi Udu Pedu Junction, so Benye Binato Nezi. In the numbers near me and son. And Tino, a sangu screen or so. And you bet me a fat no affair. Also, Pedia Nibia, Mamma, me papa will be a message number so a 0558
0558
400
400
265
265
0558
0558
400
400
265
265
and Namamos sentimental almost then 0244
0244
214
214
558
558
and your last number no a Vodafone and it is 0200
0200
777
777
277
277
at ye penny company o Ghana yen samrane enye wash your hand yen samrane enye thank you how are you yen samrane say ma waduane enye wadru ema edru enye waduane. Make sure your meal becomes your medicine, not your medicine becoming your meal. That is our slogan, and that is what we are going by.
Okay. You better was say bosheba na men so de COVID de me bone emrane say nya wuhia ne insuo. Esan say insuo no ehu hia say ye insuo hye say eye insuo no nya wuhia ne insuo.
Fancy just bo emra.
Enti ahwefo ye beda mo ase aha na ye de COVID enkomo twetwe no ebesi ensesa channel no ye twa ye ho aba.
How does the story of old influence decisions and lifestyles of today? How can we tread the path to salvation based on past events? Why is history important and how can it inspire the future? Another says, a generation which ignores history has no past and no future. Join us in a talk show program.
Tell me the old story.
Right here on Wesleyan Television, as we engage knowledgeable people with facts in history that will influence our present and shape our future.
Make a date with us every Saturday at 7 p.m.
as we delve deep into our history. God bless you.
Tell me the old story. Brought to you by the Heritage Directorate of the Methodist Church, Ghana.
Into Yasan Ababio Masaya Vetnase, but this time I have been joined by a group from the St. Mark Methodist Church in Kwashiman. You have a kind Sema program be a course this Sunday. Into Jacob Emmanuel Tete, a music director Edima St. Mark Methodist Church, and I think so Ebenezer Ahama, or a vice chairman Edima, the Youth Directorate Ministry. Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Many buy no Sunday ne.
Okay, so Sunday ne one fe joint youth service. Okay. Yeah, Kwashiman Circuit. Ni St. Mark Society ni host yo. Ni neke youth service ne wale yake Methodist asafu ke ba ke society fe abomoden ni abua 𝗟𝗏𝗍𝗏 na bona fe ni noni ba ni hana mission so mo esebafo no yewo wonbua wo fe wo hina St. Mark bona fe ni wo dwen ni bi ni esane as young Christians wo fe to take up responsibilities in our country no e ba no St. Mark Society da kuman lebi 6:30 a.m.
Mini poteni ke wo ba na yejeme.
Okay, so a normal service, but it's a youth service. Okay. But yeah, we're Ghana Day, so we are going to be clad in our traditional outfits, yes, to commemorate the Ghana month, like we are all in, exactly. So that's that. We are going to, like the theme says, land of our birth. We are trying to tell our people, every Christian, not to forsake their civic duties, as well as being in the Christian faith. Yeah.
After the program, what are we assured of as individuals who would attend the program?
Okay, as part of the program, we have some song ministrations. We are going to hear some patriotic songs. And then as the theme goes, Land of Our Birth, the speaker is the very Reverend Nicholas Odumbedu. And ake Ghana BGO ni Christopher 𝗟𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗏 ye money baba e banyani a challenge wo bona fe ni wo ke onani adamoshi ni at the end of the day wo banyani wo tuning ni hani wo ma ho aya no no koneke ni sani wo pagbe
agbene hu le page speaker ni baba we neke program na shishi
ofane he's the only speaker but then the service will be led by the Reverend Minister of St. Mark, which is the resident minister, Reverend Barry Kojo-Buafo. Yes, so for the speaker, it is just the Superintendent Minister of the Kwashiman Circuit.
Eben, where is the church located?
Okay, so the church is located at Dakuman. I think from the Dakuman Junction, that would be about 800 meters from the Dakuman Junction.
It's free. In fact, it's all free. Kaneshi now.
Okay, so from Kaneshi, when you get to Dakuman Junction, you take your right.
Bus stop
so from Kaneshi we to a straight car to Dakuman. Okay, so basically Methodist Junction. Basically Methodist Junction as well, and then you ask anyone around it. It's a popular place.
That you can get to. Okay. Yeah. Now, time. What's the time for the program now?
6:30 a.m.
And upper 6.
Yes.
First service and as a whole joint service.
So for the youth service, 6:30 to 8:15 each time we meet. Yes, before the adult service also comes in. Until the end 6:30. 6:30 by latest by 8:30 because it's a special joint service program. Yes, latest by 8:30 we are done so that the adult service could also continue.
Convince me why I should come to the program. I should attend. Tell me.
Like he said. The song ministrations, I'm not sure you've heard some of our patriotic songs sung that way. I was privileged to pass through one of our rehearsals for the youth choir. It was marvelous. It was marvelous. I would entreat you to come, see for yourself. Yes.
Okay. What's the theme again? And then the MHB that accompanies it.
Yes. So the theme for the service is Land of Our Birth, from the Methodist Hymn Book 899. Yes.
A music director.
Yes.
Wait me out to one line, Maya. To one line. To one line, Maya.
Okay.
Intended.
Land of our birth, we pledge to thee.
Okay. Numbers to my This is how we end the session. But before we go, let's take a look at the flyer and where the program is going on. Until you heard from Jacob Emmanuel Tete, or your music director, and our face to Ebenezer Ahama, or your vice chairman, Edema YDM. They spoke about the program Ebebasu Sunday we theme near land of our birth. And for a number free MHB 899 into Sunday we about 6:30 now. I sorry them ho. Making sure you are cladded in anything that depicts Ghana. Basu was St. Mark Methodist Chapel and no da kuman hoa. Into be so be da kuman say uko Methodist asori on ma. Apalakwa no bekoho. Into make sure that you join us on Sunday for this service. Thank you very much. We'll be back shortly. This is how we are going to end the week, and we hope that you have also enjoyed yourself with us throughout the beginning of the month until today. Today is the end of the first week, and we are so grateful to you all. I want to wish a couple of people a happy birthday, and so I want to wish the very Reverend Emmanuel K.I., Superintendent Minister of the Accra North Circuit. God bless you abundantly. And this is from Emmanuel. Blessed birthday to you, Miss Georgina Ajua Annan, a midwife, national service personnel at the 𝗟𝗡𝗏 Municipal Hospital. Happy birthday to you, my amazing bestie. You are the wind beneath my wings, always encouraging me to reach for the stars. From God, Kobina Dombayo. Kobna Dagati, Society Lay Movement Council Organizer, Kaswa Bethel Society. So happy birthday to you all. And if you are celebrating your birthday this week, happy birthday to you. We are also wishing Mr. David and Mrs. Abakasam of Freeman Methodist Church, Inyan Abasa, a happy 64th wedding anniversary. May God bless you with many more years from your entire children and the entire family. God bless you on your wedding anniversary, 64 years. Hey, And also, and we also pray for the same blessing upon us all. And this is how we ended. But before we go, let's take a look at who our sponsors had been. Downwell Insurance Company, for all your insurance needs. Don't forget to contact them. Locate them behind the Super Presbyterian Church. The Methodist University Ghana admissions are still ongoing. Do want to grab a form. If you're a Methodist, it is free for you. Get your fees paid, select your course, and you're good to go. And now again to multi-credit. If you need a loan today, don't forget them. Locate them nationwide. Any of the offices, just walk in, get to speak to the customer care service personnel, and you are good to go. KFK Foods, this morning after your Lenten period, do want to grab just a pack of food and enjoy for yourself. Sankofa Natural Spices, get a sachet for yourself. Drop it in your food this weekend, and your food is going to taste amazing. Now to the Methodist Investments and Properties Limited. You need an African print like I'm wearing. You need a shirt, you need stoles, you need cassocks. Don't forget them at all. You can locate them inside the Grant House, adjacent the Holy Spirit's Cathedral here in Accra, Adabraka, to be precise. Before we go, our proverb for the day, we leave you with that. And so what is our proverb of the day telling us today? Behind every successful man is a good woman. Happy International Women's Day to all women. So behind every successful man, and I'm stressing on the successful man, is a very good and virtuous woman. So happy International Day to all of us. Who say maybe jina ho na we jina ho ya oba papa bi tinichi. And so this is what we leave you with. Think about it until we meet on Monday. It's bye for now.